welcome back to the Gadget Man 369 channel. Today we're going to build the nose cone section, and if we have time we'll be installing it on this piece here that we made last time. Let's see if I can keep all this stuff in the right view. Anyway, this is going to be a challenging day. Hopefully I can get all this in one video. Put that back away. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, here's the drawing that we're going to use. You might want to pause this and print it out and study it really closely. Okay? Last few builds of that skin, we had to make some changes on that dimension. So the width of this thing, the working width, isn't going to be 4.710. Instead, it's going to be the same width as we've been using for this model, 4.605, okay? Yeah, if you start all over and make a new rocket, you would use this dimension here, because all the skins on this thing, this whole build will be in the correct way because of the bulkheads. Yeah, the bulkheads were done a little bit too small, so what we did is we made this width a little bit narrower so the bulkheads would fit correctly. Also, these lines right here, this is going to be really fun. You see these curves? They're a little bit ragged because I hand drew them in there. Okay, and if you look really close, out here, there's another line. Okay, once we get done laying this all out, we're gonna just, you can eyeball that in there. That's gonna be the overlap, where it's gonna glue. That overlap will go underneath this side, and it's the same on all these all the way across. Okay, let's get a blank piece of paper. Now here's kind of a handy hint. You see this paper wants to curve that way? That's going to be the inside. Okay, so when we lay this thing out, I'm going to turn that over. The pencil lines will be on this side, and we get it all cut out, it'll just naturally and more easily bend that way when we glue it all together. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. Gonna lay this out on here. Okay, let's start that measurement 1 inch in. So make a mark, make a light line across that page first. Okay, this. Oh, you all know what I'm doing here. Don't need to repeat myself. Okay, there's the line. Okay, now, see that? I'm not 4.710, 4.605. 605. All right. That's where I should be. Okay, double check it. 4.605. Okay. The new mark. Okay, and then come down here and make that mark. Just like that. Okay. Okay. I double check the width of that. See if it matches. Okay, this is going to be a little tricky. Okay, now I'm going to turn the paper this way. We'll make this the top. Okay, I'm going to mark this an inch, 1 inch, just like that, just like this. Okay, and we're gonna have an overlap here. 1/4 inch. Whoops, let's just do it like this. I need 2 marks. 1/4 inch there. 1/4 inch there. Draw a line, do the usual. Okay. Okay, this is the overlap where it'll be glued. Okay. Now, let's see, we have 7.5. So, 7.5. Use a ruler on that because it's fairly easy to get to that. There. 7.5. Okay, and we got this dimension. All right. And there we go. This is gonna be tricky because the dimensions are not perfect. What we have to do, okay, so we're gonna come over here, and this dimension here, 4.605. Sounds like a freeway, huh? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divide that by 8, and what do we get? Let's set this thing here. That's 0.57. There we go. All right, so you should get this. Okay. Never thought about using this before. Okay, so if you could see that, we're gonna kind of walk the dog across here. 1. Put that right in exactly the same place of the hole. Boy, this makes it measuring easy. Like this. Make sure that's right in that hole there. Okay, I can see it's off slightly. That's because 0.5756. If you want to get the more accurate measurement on this, but it's okay. Okay. We could fudge that little bit in there. Okay, let's take this, divide that by 2. And now we have 28. 0.287. Boy, 7, that looks like it should be an 8, huh? Can get it in there. Okay, that's showing 0.2878. So let's make it 0.288. 0.288. Let's see. 288. Okay. Now what I want to do here, kind of make that askew a little bit. See, you got the original ones down here, and I'm doing the new one up here. Well, maybe I can't get away with doing it that way. Okay, I got that first mark in there, so I can just go ahead and reset this to whatever that was. God, I didn't mark it down. That times 2. Okay, that was 5. 575. 575. Put it back over there. Okay. Now, I could just start with that second dot I made and do what I did the first time. Okay, being that was pretty easy to do, I'm gonna make another set of those marks on the bottom, starting right on top of that line. Or did I already do that? Oh, I already did that. Okay, so 288, 288. Okay, come over here. Do what we did last time, right on there. Up there. Set it back to 0.575. 575. Okay. Now, put this in that little hole there. That's the one we just made. And do the same thing down here. Boy, too much stuff in the way. Good thing there's not a broken glass there or something. Okay, now what we're gonna do is lightly draw lines between all these marks. Now this closer one here, okay, let's put an O up here. Okay, and this one down here, we'll have an X. That way we can quickly see which one is which. Okay. Good thing there's music playing in the background, because this would bore the you-know-what out of you. Let's put this in there. We got to do a little fudging here, because there's a little gap there that should not be there. Okay, now this is interesting. Okay, on this side of the paper, you can see what I got here. You can pause that. This is a template, so we can make all those curves exactly the same. Pause and print that. And I have one made already. See, there's like this front side and the back side, right and left side. Like that. Like that. This one will be tracing this on here. Let's see. 1 1/4, okay, from the bottom. Gotta make this 1 1/4. Okay, that's gonna be where the curves start. Okay, 1 1/4. Okay, getting this thing laid out. This is tricky to make. Okay, this line right here, it's like inside a pencil width in. I don't know if I could describe that to you. Here's the pencil line, and this is under a microscope, okay? If that is a pencil line, okay? And when we cut this out, you gotta make sure that the dimension you're after is here, okay? This is the edge of the template, like right there. You can see that. When I put this up against the edge there, it's not up against this edge of the template. Okay, so I gotta make the template the width of that, whatever mark that makes, or whatever it comes out to. You could see that. There's a gap there. Okay, so you gotta make this template narrower. Bring that line inside to make up for this. So when you actually lay this out, this will come out to the correct size. Okay? What you can do on here, you can eyeball that curve that belongs in there. All these curves, I eyeballed that in there. So what you could do is lay this out. You know, the measurement. Okay, 7.5. I'm gonna just kind of scribble this in there. Okay. Say that's one side of your template. Okay, this is the dimension. Okay, let's see. Okay. 7.5 is the whole length of the whole nose cone piece. This here, this curve in here is 6 1/4. That's how long the curves are. Okay, so you can come over here and mark 6 1/4, like that. Okay, whatever that ruler is. This here will be the spine right here of this, which right here, between here and here, is exactly the same as here and here. Okay? Very important. That way this, you could just set that right in there and then just trace it off. Okay? So whatever this comes out to, I'm just going to eyeball this for the sake of making this. Let's just call it 1/4 inch, although it's not. You're going to measure that with your calipers. Okay, so starting point, okay, let's say this is the starting point. That would equal this. Okay. Then you got this width here, which will be this width. Okay. Okay, make the template a little bit bigger. That's this extra junk here. Okay, and then you got this. Okay. And that will be equal from here to here to here to here. So whatever that is, just remember, I'm just eyeballing this just to demonstrate how to make this. Okay, here's a way you could do that now. You know that's going to be the end of the curve. The curve starts here and ends up right here. So there's a curve in between there as such. Okay, here's a way to calculate this. This is just to make the template. It's not as important to get an exact curve on this. I eyeball that. There's no way you can do it any other way. Okay, so, okay, equal. Then you come in here halfway in between. Whatever that is, and that is, you can measure it out so it's equal on both sides, and then make a tick mark here. Put your pencil here. Okay, like that, and then this one down here will end up right back here at that intersection point. Okay. Now there's in between here and here, there's a distance between here and here. So I'm going to come out an equal amount there. Okay, so what you could do is take your pencil and lightly lay that in there. And you come across this. It'll be like this on that side. And what now you can do is erase those other lines carefully and look at your new line. Like that. Yeah, I'm making it darker here so you can see it, but you want to do this line really light because you'll be erasing and moving things around. Okay, whatever that is. Yeah, it gets pretty narrow down on this end of it. Okay. And you just eyeball that. You just tell yourself, okay, that curve looks really good, but over here it's kind of jacked up. So you want to mess around with that, erasing, put the line in. You could do this by hand like I'm doing it. Okay, needs a little bit off of there. You ask yourself, what's the high spot? What's the low spot? Okay, let me put this line back in a little bit darker. It's always got to be a gap in it. Now you can see the gap here. Okay, and this just slowly tapers off like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Getting this done a little bit quicker. Okay, now you can make this template. It's like a double laminate. So what you want to do is make a double laminate of that paper first. Okay, so you got this line here, and you got this across here, and this, it's kind of important right here. Okay, and the back. Okay, this side here, you don't need to cut that line off. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut on the inside of that line like we did earlier, as I demonstrated here. Whatever you calculate, you got to use your own two eyes. You know, it's like take something, a straight line, and okay, you look right here, what is the gap between there and there? Okay, that's how much you got to take off on the inside of this line. So you're going to cut, in a sense, that line off, but you don't want to go too far. Okay, you're going to take your X-Acto blade and you're going to cut that line off. Use my new X-Acto blade. The other one kept falling apart. Let's see if I could demonstrate this real quick. Okay, across here, cut the line off. Okay, and cut. And then see the original line there. I'm going to cut that line off. Okay, and this one you're going to cut the line off. Oops, get in there. Okay, so you're going to end up with this. This don't have to be real pretty, this part up here. Now this line here, do the usual, cut it right down the center of the line. This isn't real perfect because we're fighting against battery and all that stuff. And you end up with this, and you notice there's no line on there. The line is on this side. Throw that away. Okay, and I made mine kind of pretty. And this is what you end up with. Okay, now what you want to do is write on this side the word right. Turn it over and write left on there, left and right side. Okay, so that's how you make that template. I tried to demonstrate that as quick as you can. We got this laid out. We're gonna have to do a little fudging because there's too much of a gap here, but I'll show you that when we get there. Sharpen the pencil, watch your ears. Best to use a sharp pencil. Okay, now come back over here to this. Okay, let's do this side first, okay? So you got this curve is on that side, okay? This here will be that side. So what you're gonna do is lay that template and line that up perfectly, okay? There's a thickness to a line here. Boy, that's awful thin. Try and put that edge exactly right over the center of that line so you can see half of the line. Like that, okay? And, okay, don't need to worry about that. Or just, okay. Uh-oh, if it moves, you gotta really hold down on there. Okay, I got it back. Okay, just like that. You can see this line. Did I do that right? Oh, you know what? I messed it up again. Okay. Anyway, let's do that again. I'm on the wrong line. I should be on the X line. Okay, you could use something to use that as an erasing template. Okay, my mistake. Always some kind of mistake here. Okay, the point is the X's. X, 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 that's the point. And that's the X right there. You could also, on that template, is mark this center of that top point X and then make that measurement over here and put 0 on it. Oh boy. Okay, there's the X. Gonna do this one because this one's an X. Put a pencil on there like that. Go like that. Okay. Moving this into position. So there's a little gap in there. Okay, ready? Gotta hold this down. Okay, it keeps wanting to move. I'm gonna bend it this way a little bit. Okay. Like this, like that. Now, you can't see it, but I could see the line and there's a gap in there. So I'm going like this, and I see a gap. So I'm gonna match the gap on that one down here. Like that, good, I got it. Okay, gotta hold down, hold that part down. Yep, it moved. There, I got my gap back again. Okay, got the first curve in. Now can I come over to the next X? The one on the bottom, that one there is the 0, so it's X to 0. Okay, see if I can hold that down better. Makes it harder for you guys to see. I'm just, okay, going an inch at a time or inch and a half. Okay, like that. Okay, put the pencil here, go like that. Yeah, this will take you a little bit of practice. Okay. Okay, this is the one that's a little screwy. So what I'm going to do, there's a space in between there on R's. Okay, I need to come over all the way over there, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, this will be the one that's not real accurate. Oh gosh, it keeps moving. Boy, that is hard to keep that from turning. It's easier to start from the bottom. I'm looking up here. Okay. Okay. Now this spot right here, that's in between the little bit of an error there. And I think we can get away with that. Gotta make sure, the most important measurement is this one to here to make it fit on there. You don't overlap it up to this point. Okay. It's gotta be overlapped in the correct spot. Put that line back in there. The original line. Okay. And what I'm gonna do is erase that other center line I made, because I was wrong about that. Oop, that's 2 major mistakes. Okay, there we go. Overlap. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. This is going to be cut off when we get all done with it. It could be filled easily with glue. Now you turn your template over. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Okay, X to X. No, X to O. Okay, I wonder if I could hold that whole piece down. There, that's good. Look at that. See, here, line it up. Should be a little gap at the bottom visually, and when you put the line in, they come together right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, that the only thing that's going to be a little boogered up is this very top piece. Okay. And now you should have this. Okay. Very good. Now, here's what we're going to do. And this really don't have to be too accurate. Okay, I should have made all these lines a little bit darker. But there's an overlap that's got to be done when we glue these together. So pick a side, and you can eyeball this. This don't need to be real pretty. Okay. Okay, like that. Because this is going to be glued. I don't know, you got a kind of a gap there. What is that, 3/16? Something like that. Okay, point to point. Okay. Oops, don't want to leave it any thicker than you have to. Yeah, that's an ugly line, so what? It's not going to show. This is just the glue tab. Okay, let's fix that. There's a, between here and there, and there and there, there and there can't be more. So as we're cutting this out, make sure this area right here is a little narrower than between here and here. Okay, and I don't think this side needs one. Does it? No. Okay, let's get a cutting. Okay, that was the demo template. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is cut this square out. Here's this original line. Oh, okay. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it without the ruler so you can see what I'm doing here. Cut that initial. Okay, come on. Boy, that thing's got a mind of its own. Cut down the center of the pencil line. When you got a thin pencil line, that'll challenge you. Oops, come on, baby. Okay, come over here, cut this side out. Okay. Like that. And then down here, don't cut across here. You can make a whole new one. I don't think you want to do that. Once you make one of these cones and you understand how to lay this out. Oh, geez, come on. Making another one will be much easier. You probably might end up making two of these. Okay. And then this. Cut this out along that line. Right down the center of the line. And we have this. Okay. Now, this is the edge that's going to reference this side, and this is going to come together when we glue it, and the glue is going to be along here. So what you want to do, we are going to cut these out first. Okay? So, starting from right there, you could take your time, go real slow, and be more accurate. Okay. Okay, then this one. The better you do these cuts right here, the more perfect that nose cone is going to look. Okay. Center of that line. Yeah, we want these, half the pencil line to be showing. Okay, here's where I could fudge a little bit. Oh, cheat a little bit to bring that to a point more on the top. Now, here's what we're gonna do. When we cut this one out, okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. Here's what you're gonna do. You're only gonna cut that overlap out. Okay? Because that's where the glue is gonna go. It took a lot of nose cones, man, to figure this out, and I'm now fudging it so you can see this side is less than that side. Okay. Okay, just like this. Okay, that piece comes out of there. Didn't have these glue tabs in there. I was cutting individual strips and trying to glue them from the inside and everything, and I'll tell you what, boy, doing this cured all that problem. Look at that, huh? That was pretty quick. This is what you got, okay? So you got that. You can see where these little overlaps are gonna be. Like that, like that, like that. Okay, now, this is where the glue is gonna go, on that tab right there. So what we gotta do first is glue that. Okay, first let's do the ribbon trick. Can we do the ribbon trick? I don't know if you can see that. Boy, that's hard to do. You probably won't be able to see it on this side. But I'm only pulling around this end. You don't want to pull that over there. Okay. Come back. There. Now I got it rounded pretty good. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is where I said I was going to put the glue. Just to get this started. Okay. Okay. Take an extra. Okay. Make sure the bottom and all in that is square. Same old stuff before. Make sure it's lined up on the bottom. And get that to where that overlapped. That joint. It's right over half the pencil line. Here we go with that half the pencil line. Don't know if you can see that really close, but that's really good. Okay, that'll give it the proper dimension. Okay. Okay. And we need a gluer. Here we go. Lost the gluer again. Make a new one. It's just sometimes quicker just to make a new gluer. Boom, done. Okay, now you could actually just draw the glue on there like this, and like before, get it under there, go a little bit farther. You could tell when you're running out of glue. Okay, now you want to glue this on there so half that line, half the pencil line shows. Okay, half the pencil line. There we are. I think it's easier just to do this. Get the glue ready, do it in the usual manner. You could just draw it on there. Where are we? Right here. Go a little bit farther. Okay. 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 Try not to force it. Otherwise it'll make some weird bends in there. And yeah, it'll look a little funky on that end right up here because there was some dimension discrepancies. Gee, can't even talk straight when I'm thinking here. Concentrating on what I'm doing. Okay, the gluer. Come over there, get a nice amount of that on there. Where's that line? Okay, be aware where that line is. And you'll see half of the line. Maybe. Okay. That's that one. This is going to be fun. Like I said, this is going to be an extreme. Okay. We're going to do this one. It's like a cross on the opposite side of that. This might go by a little bit quicker than I thought. Okay. Okay. Okay, you gotta like handle this like you would a little insect or something. You don't want to hurt his little wings. Okay, like this. You already know how to do that. I explained in an earlier video. Okay. Now, this is tough to do. Okay. You can see that line. Pinch it. Should be line to line, edge to that line, and you should see half of that line showing. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be time consuming. Ooh, sometimes doing this part gives you the willies. Okay. I'm going just slightly over an inch at a time. Okay. You don't want to force anything, but line to line. And you notice this is going to start bending down as you're doing this. And that's how you get that curve. Could wait 20 seconds for that, for the glue to set. Okay. Okay. Gotta keep, want to get more the glue at the tip of that so that you could put that gluer in there and get glue in there. That's why I kind of go back and forth. Okay, line to line. And yeah, you're going to notice the angle of this is bending in there. So you got to bend it in, bend it down as you're gluing that down. Okay. Boy. Okay, this time I got glue from tip to tip on here. That way when I stick this here and I go back, I'm going to get glue on that part. Well, it looks like we made it all the way to the end. Okay. Bend it down. Edge on right on top of the center of that line. So you see half the line. Okay? Real important, man. You don't do that, and this nose cone is going to come out to be a crumple cone. Okay. This will take, you might, like I said, it's okay to mess this one up because you can make another one and now you'll be going, oh, I know how that's done now. Okay. Get my finger under there. Okay. I can see the half of the line showing all the way down there. Some of that's dirt. But this is what you get, that curve. Okay, it doesn't look real pretty right now, but once all these are all glued all the way around, it will straighten out and look pretty nice. Okay, so we got this one, and the one across here, we're gonna do this one. That's where the original glue joint was, so we're gonna do this one next. Boy, I hope I have enough battery life to get all this in so I can edit it. Okay. Let's see, where am I here? That's that. That's the one I just made. Turn it over. As long as it's something on the other side. Okay, that. And that. Okay. Tricky to get this started. Pinch. Probably shouldn't have gone so far. When you do that first leg there, it's like do it shorter. Okay. Line on top of line, half a line showing. Okay. This is gonna make an extremely light nose cone, and it'll have a bit of strength to it too. Wow, where am I? Oh, I'm on this side. Certainly. Okay, I think this is a little easier just going an inch or less at a time. Okay. Yeah, the fun one is when you get to the last one and you have no space. See, a larger nose cone on a larger rocket will be the trick. What I'm doing is I'm bringing this together a little farther than the glue to get that line in the halfway point there, right between, in the center of that line, to hold this while this sets. Okay, that was confusing. Okay, got this one. Push that backwards. Roll that up. I don't know if I can get away with doing the whole thing. Just like I said, to save some time. Kind of bend it down, pinch it. Bend it down, pinch it. Bend it down and pinch it. And then you got to bend it down just far enough. It'd be easier if I could do this without filming it. I gotta hold this in such a way where you guys can see it. Come on, stick. Let's see if the glue is still wet enough up there. Okay. Maybe not. I'll just have to maybe get away with that. not only is you're getting a curve down on this thing is rounding a little bit too. If it's too flat, you can kind of give it a little help, like, you know, as the glue dries. Okay, and whatever doesn't actually stick and glue, you can come back later when it's all assembled and just do the necessary repairs. This way, that way. Okay, let's try. Okay, that one, now this one right in the middle here. Okay, let's see. Here, let me get it started. I'm not going to go as far as I usually have been. Make it a little easier. The more of these you get all glued together, the harder this is going to get getting it glued up. Boy, it's like I said, you need to be an octopus sometimes to be able to do this. Half the line. Okay. Huh. Did that come apart? Yep, it came apart. Boy, this is tough. Might have to just start over again. It just popped off. Can't glue it together with dry glue. Like I said, I'm on the race of a clock. The battery clock. Okay. And like I said before, at the beginning here, don't try and go too far with it. Just getting it started. As long as you see that half a line showing when you get holding it down and getting it glued down, you know it's gonna give you the right angle. Usually you need 20 seconds. When I make my good ones, I just hold this like for 20 seconds. So it's 20 seconds, 20 seconds. That gives enough time for the glue to set. Right now, filming this in a hurry, not giving it enough time for the glue to set correctly. Okay. Boy, you need longer fingers. You have to get your fingers underneath these edges here. And you can see that's going to be fun when we get to the ones that you can't get your fingers in, and you have to start getting creative. Okay. I'd love to hold that for 20 seconds. Okay. More glue. Yeah. Keep the glue down here on this table here. This is where you waste a little bit of glue. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna bend all kind of weird ways, but as long as you're getting that glue to stick down that overlap right on top of that line, half a line showing, it'll pop straight. But you gotta have something to hold on to here. 20 seconds. Okay. Get the glue underneath there. Bring it up there. I think I'll save the very tip till last. Just bend down. Bending that down, and that brings those two, the edge and that line together. Okay, cheat a little bit on this. Let's see if I can get away with it. Yeah, that's the funny end up here that we had to because of the mismeasurement. But like I said, we'll be able to fake that nose cone tip when it's all done. Oh, there we go. Now see, that looks like that. Put your finger in there, and it should pop. I said it should pop. There it goes. There we go. Now we got this. getting there. Whew, boy. Okay, we got that one, we got this one, we got that one. Okay, I'm just going across. I got that one, this one, and that one. So this one here is the next one. Let's see if I can lose my spot there. And then we'll be halfway done. Didn't put enough glue on there. It's okay. Right here. Right here. To maintain that shape, keep the line. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you get a little tick there of some kind of a bend. That could be burnished out later. Okay. Give it a little pinch right now. Ooh, just, okay. And the tip. Got a little bit on the tip there. Okay. Bend it down. Make sure that you're getting that together up here, otherwise it's gonna, the end of that's gonna be really weird looking. Okay. Pop that out. It didn't pop, but okay. Wow, 2 more left. Okay, now things are gonna get interesting. Right now I'm kind of practicing laying that down. Boy, I'll tell you what, that almost just lays down where it needs to go, almost by itself. Maybe you can kind of bend this on both sides so it will lay down in the correct position almost by itself, like curling it. Okay, let's try that out. There's a little bit of glue still left on here, and what's kind of unique about that is the glue's halfway dried, so when you put glue on here it'll take a lot less time to dry. Okay, just like before, got a finger inside there. Yeah, real tricky. Okay, half the line, half the line. That, I can't stress that, it's more important than anything. And you could see that right there, I could see half the pencil line. See that right there? Is it gonna hold? It might. I'm gonna just pinch that far in there so I can get it to hold it while I put more glue down here. As I said, you might have to be better to have a couple of these gluers made because this one's getting a little boogered up. Okay, boy, get off my finger. Okay, boy. Okay, put my finger down here a little bit like that and kind of give it a little push there. Yeah, doing that the pre-curving helps. Now my finger on the other side isn't even directly underneath that. I'm just hoping the glue will grab it. So far so good. Like pre-bend everything. Boy, if you're good at that, just bend everything so it just lays down right where it's supposed to go without having to worry about even putting your fingers under there. Get this one started a little bit better. Got some drier glue here. Well, it looks like some of that came undone. Okay, come on. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna hold that. I don't know if you can see the angle here. I have it. So I'm gonna just go like that. Not too hard. It pulls it apart if you do. I got my thumb pretty much. Well, let's see. It'd be better if it was over the tip of that. There we go. Hey, a new technique. Trying to keep that joint there right on top of the line. Where am I? Look at that. Right there. Yep, the battery went dead. Okay, get this out of the way. Let's see if we could, if there's enough life in that battery. That means this recording is long. Just trying to get to this, but I can edit. Where are we at on this thing? Okay, here we go. Get some glue underneath there. Okay. And then I'm gonna go like this and try and get it to lay down. Come on top of that line. Oh, the battery went dead. I had to move this. So, boy, come on, dry. Okay, there's no glue on there. Huh. Do what you have to do to get this. Get creative. There we go, I kind of saved that. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing now. I got one tick there. I could burnish that out after this thing's assembled and dried. Okay, I'm pushing down a little bit and I'm watching that area I'm gluing right here to keep it down the center of that line. Okay. Get more glue underneath there. Hope the camera's still centered and all that. Messing around with the battery. Off there, gluer. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The very tip of this never comes out real perfect, but they come out pretty good. Okay, I don't know if you see what I'm doing, but it's like you have to bend this in a certain way. Never mind the sides right now because they're already glued. And misshaping them is okay. Okay, come on. Boy, I wish that would dry faster. So I take my fingernail, there's a little area that's lifted. The last thing I will do is go around and get glue underneath there in the areas. Okay, gluer. It's kind of coming apart. Come on, get under there. That's either coming apart where I just glued it, or it's coming apart somewhere else. Okay, the glue is just too dry. Yeah, kitty here is begging for food. Get some glue underneath there, okay. Sometimes, in my case here, it looks like it's trying to twist a little bit at the top, but it's okay as long as it shaped correctly. God, I wish that glue would dry quicker. Now I'm worried about batteries, and I know that lamp over there is going to go out pretty soon. Okay, there's a split right there. I don't know what happened there. Failed to glue it before. I just didn't get enough glue in it when I did it the first time. Okay. Boy, we only got one more side left. Come on, dry. If you can see, I got a little twist in here, which is okay. Yeah, I see some other joints coming apart. Come on, dry. And we got one left. Maybe this one isn't going to be as hard as I thought. Probably don't need that anymore. Clean the end of that off. Okay, let's try the bending before you glue it together trick. A little tricky to do up there. Bend, 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 bend. Do this side. Like that. Don't overdo it. You don't want to kink it. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to explain exactly what I'm doing. Okay. This will be the last leg. Okay. Okay. Kind of went a little overdid it there. See, now I'm going to do what I did before. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be easier. Huh. Think that the last one would be the hardest one. But you have all those other ones glued together. Come on. I have to put more glue under that. It doesn't want to hold. That's because I'm in a hurry. Okay. Manipulation a little bit. Come on, pull it back a little bit. I want to see half the line. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Wish that glue would dry instantly. If you use super glue on here, well, I don't think that'll work. You need to have time to manipulate the paper. Super glue's a lot more expensive and heavier. And okay, go a little farther. Like I said, on yours, you won't have to worry about no camera or anything and trying to get all this in. I've already got one battery dead. Hopefully this thing is recording still. Yeah, you want to get a little bit extra glue this time underneath that edge because there's nothing left to hold it. So if there's a little bit of glue thickness under there, when it dries, it'll help pull it together. Oop, there goes the battery on the light. Yep. Probably should have did this in two parts. Should do the cutout and make the template and everything with one video. And then the assembly, what I'm doing right now, doing last. We're getting there, but we only got about 1.5 inches left to go. This cone is starting to look good. Nose cone. I'm holding that together. Oh, here we got light again. Goes dead, comes back alive. Let's see how far I can get this. Okay. Come on, baby. Manipulate that paper. I hope it's all good. Okay, good. Boy, this is, like I said, in extreme when it comes to building, man. If you could do this, you can do anything. Okay, look at that. Okay. There's a little... push some glue underneath there because that was lifted. Didn't have enough glue under there. Take your fingernail and kind of burnish that down to get rid of the bump. Okay. Got one bad bump right there. It's not real bad, but we can get that out of there. Okay. Now, there's glue. Sometimes you could just blow the glue underneath there. Okay. Now I got my finger kind of pinched to shape of the end of that, and I'm rotating it to keep my finger from sticking. Okay, and just kind of play with that. You keep doing this until the glue is set and holds this down. I think I can edit this video down under an hour because there's a lot of repeated things in here I could just edit out. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see that. There's some lifted up paper there. Now push some glue underneath that. See, if you go like that, you can force the glue underneath that edge. Kind of pet it like a dog. Rah, rah, rah. Okay. I see it needs a little glue underneath there. That's what we're doing now, is filling the gaps. There we go. Like I said, this thing, it looks ugly as far as dirt and everything. There's that bump I was telling you about. I could fingernail that out of there. Oh, that's working out really good. Yeah. See, the glue isn't 100% dry. I see a little uplifted thingy right there. You probably can't, but put a dot of glue on there and push it underneath there. And then brush it down like that. There's a bump there. Okay. Is that glued underneath there? Yeah. Go like that. I just kind of like put a bunch of glue on the very tip, and now I'm just kind of pointing it, making it to a point. And there's a nose cone. Okay. We will straighten more of this out in a while. That's the nose cone. Okay, the better, like I said, I could make a better one. I didn't have time. Okay, now we gotta make that ring that fits in there. Nose cone coupler, this one. Nose cone coupler reinforcement. Don't need that. Body tube sheet. Nose cone coupler. Okay, this was just some other thought there. This is what we need. Okay. Let's see, is there enough on that sheet? I think so. And it turns that way. Okay, so 1.5. Oh boy. Okay, let's just get a new piece of paper because there's glue on the end of that. Okay. 1.5. Right here, right there. I'll be a little sloppy on this, and you could do this to save paper. Like that. Okay, I know there's that 1/4 of an inch. That folded part, just like you've seen this before, that folds. Okay. Okay, now it's 1 inch. Nope. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Okay, make this line. Okay, now what's the width on there? 4.650. 4.650. Okay, and we'll add that 1/4 of an inch on the end of it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just like this. Boy, I'm just trying to rush this. Hope I don't blow it. Okay, now we're gonna go out another 1/4 of an inch. Like this. You've seen parts made similar to this. Like this. Like that. We're gonna cut that part out. Okay, and score across there. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Alright. That's this. Right here, that piece. That's it. Knock the cone down. Gonna pause that and get the dimensions. Okay. Now, I'm gonna cut this piece out. One. Like that. Like this. Like that. Get rid of that. Score this. And that's the overlap. Okay, turn this upside down and do a real light score. Okay, now the paper wants to curve that way, so I'm gonna fold that on the inside. Whew. Okay, so I'll laminate that like this. I don't know where my gluer went, but I'll just do this. Running out of time. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take this stick and wrap that around here like that. Okay. And that laminated section is to the inside. See if you notice that. You know what? I probably didn't even need that because this is going to be glued on. Yeah, we don't even need that, so you know, you can exclude that if you want. Okay, so I got this going here. This gives it a start. Let go of it. Okay, you've seen this before. Open that up far as it goes. Pinch and hold it. Okay, pencil. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm gonna make a mark right there. Okay, and you can see that right there. Let's see what that measures out to be. Oh, that's an exact 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, got 2 marks on there. Then I can just go like this. Okay, then glue that. Okay. Right up halfway to that line. I see a little tick there. Before that glue actually dries, let's see if it fits in there. It should. And it does. Ta-da! Let it dry. There we are. We already know this kind of a Okay, so I'm going to take this glue here, put a good amount around there, like that, and rotate it in a bit. Okay, well, I guess it's not going to want to rotate. Okay. I think we need, yeah, see there's a bulkhead in there. So we got to make sure that's just slightly less. Than the depth of that bulkhead. Otherwise, when you put this in there, it's going to hit the bulkhead and it won't fit. Okay, obviously we're going to be trimming that down a little bit. Okay, so you should have this. Okay, got a little wrinkle on that bolt on this thing. Okay. Gonna test fit that. Okay, so. Okay, just eyeball that a little bit. Okay, and then slowly work your way down. Like that. Oh boy, look at that. Okay, now we know what to do here. Pinch that inward. That way we could get it started in there. Like that. Okay, let's see how far in it goes. Come on. Oh, it'll fit. It's just out around, it makes it hard. And I'm doing this with the glue still wet. Come on. Ah. I'm gonna bend that a little bit more. I'm in a big hurry right now. Batteries. Okay, I'm just like curving that in. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it's curved in. That way it'll slide in there. At least that's what I'm trying to do. Come on. We know it's gonna fit good because we're having trouble. Come on. There we go. Ooh, it's there. Okay, I cut that tube in there. You want the tube to lay up against this so it stays straight. Okay, looks pretty straight. Okay, now I'm gonna... Okay, so, beam. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna put glue around this. Like that. And what you want to do before you do actually put the glue on is practice putting this cone on, so you won't have problems getting it on there like I am. Come on. Okay, we got it. Okay, there's the joint. And I can rotate it, that joint right there, I want it lined up with that one. And we have a perfect fit here, man. Look at that. So all those measurements we did to correct for the bulkhead that was the wrong size. All right, look at that, huh? And then you could play around with it. Before you glue that on there, you can actually get in there and make this nose cone look prettier, you know, before you glue it in there. Okay, and there we have this. There we are. Yeah, look at that, huh? There's the nose cone. Assembled on there. It's kind of hard to show it all in here. Okay, yeah, glasses off. Whew. There we go. Parachute section like that, and sweet. Yeah, pretty good. All right, that was something else. Yeah, that's kind of an extreme build. If I was building this for real, you know, I have the other one I showed you, the nose cone came out really good on that one. But on this one, before I glued that on there, I'd probably just made me another nose cone. Took a lot more time on it, which I don't have here, and did it right. That was today's build, part 9. Next week, we should have part 10, which will be the fins. This is the Gadget Man 369. Signing off.